Greetings everyone, Lights and Gear is back, and I have something from Nitecore today. This is the TINI2. It's the dual core intelligent keychain flashlight. In the past I have reviewed, I think it's 3 other, this I believe is my 4th keychain flashlight from Nitecore. They've had the tip, and they've had the top, and they've had the Tiki, and 2 or 3 others as well. I have not owned them all. As I say, this is the 4th keychain flashlight from Nightcore that I have in my possession. And I have to say, aside from the Tiki, this is the smallest of the type that's not round and of sort of a standard flashlight shape, if you will. Most of these other ones have been square, and this is the smallest of that particular line, at least that I have. So the TINI2 is what we're focusing on today, and it has 2 switches on it, a mode switch and a power switch. It's a USB-C rechargeable, as you can see right here, and the flashlight is right here, peeking through the plastic. Some particulars over here, which you would expect. The top output is 500 lumens, which is pretty good. Has a beam distance, maximum distance of 89 meters, and it's 1 meter impact resistant and IP54 waterproof. I actually have to look up and see what the IP54 designation is in this case, since I don't see too many with that particular rating. And some information on the back here. As you can probably imagine, it uses an internal lithium-ion battery, so there's no battery to put in or out of it. So hopefully the charge and recharge cycle on it lasts a good long time. And it uses 2 LEDs, which we'll get to. They are Osram P8 LEDs. And it has the multifunctional OLED display, which most of these keychain lights from OLED have. And again, there's your notification. There's your bit there on the battery. 280 mAh lithium battery is already part of the light. Packaging is very small here, and pulling it out, there's not much in the way of accessories. Here's the manual, and there was also a card in it right here, a Nightcore card, and there was also a quick start manual right here, just a little slip of paper. But here's the regular manual, and the other accessory is an attachment for a keychain. I have not yet put that on, but anyway. So here's the light. It's only a couple of inches long. It isn't a whole lot bigger than a quarter, and I'd say it's a lot easier to carry on your keychain than some other keychain flashlights, and a little easier than some of the others that Nightcore has had, but to each his own, you know. And here are the 2 LEDs. And they put out a nice uniform beam, and it's not obviously built for distance, but is built for width and for flood. On the other side, here is your display, and here are your 2 operating switches, and here's the little thing on the bottom to attach the key ring to. And here is the USB-C charging port. So there is that. Everything is very simplified on this light, and when you attach the USB-C to the port, for one thing, you'll get a display in here showing that it is about to be charged, and the 2 switches here will flash in blue, and they'll continue flashing until the charge is up. Anyway, very simple to operate, and is actually quite similar to most of the other lights that they have with the same display. So switching it on is as easy as pressing the button, And as soon as you do, the display will wake up and start giving you bits of information. Now, if you want to check the battery anytime, you can just press the mode switch while it's off, and there it tells you the battery. And I have been using this for a bit, so it's a little bit down right now. It's 3.86 volts, and it shows there that it's in daily mode. And like others in this series, it has two operating modes, if you will, a daily mode and a demo mode. And in demo mode, it'll shut off after 30 seconds. But if you switch it to daily mode, then of course you can use it to your heart's content until the battery runs down. But anyway, that's how you check the battery voltage anytime, and as you can see, it only stays on for a moment. But the manual, of course, does explain most of what you'll get, and that includes the modes, of which there are 5. And the modes are ultra low, low, medium, high, and turbo. And with each press of the switch, it will tell you a little bit about each mode. It has a lock and an unlock feature. It has a half lockout and a full lockout. So if you want to be able to use turbo mode, for instance, you can put it in a half lockout, and then you have the option of using turbo if you want to, which would be, I believe, the only mode that it would operate on if it's in half lockout. And if you choose the full lockout, then of course you can't do anything with it. It also has direct access to the ultra low and direct access to turbo. It has mode memory, and being that it's a keychain light, it does not have any flashing modes like SOS or anything like that. So again, let's push the button. So right now it's in level 1, and that won't be putting out a whole lot of light. That's only about 1 lumen, so that's easy enough to use in complete darkness if you're close to something. And here I'm close to the manual, so there is ultra low mode. And pressing the switch again, of course, will raise the output. And to turn it off, you just, it has a nice, the buttons have a nice little click to them, and I like the click on the power switch when it just clicks on and clicks off. I like that. So turning up the output, there's 15 lumens on the second one, there's 65 on the third, there's 200 on the fourth, and if you keep cycling, it'll just go back to the first one again. If you want turbo, you have to press and hold, and there's 500 lumens, so they say, on turbo. And that's supposed to be able to remain on that level for, I think it's 10 minutes or something. Now, of course, the time that it has left on each output is given in the display. So right now it's saying 38 minutes on level 1, and of course it says 38 minutes because the battery is going down a bit. It would be substantially more if it were at a full charge. So again, there's your level 1, there's your level 2, there's your level 3, which would go for an hour and 42 minutes approximately, and 33 minutes on 200 lumens. So let me just point it over here, and here's your beam on the wall, which, as I say, is a very nice beam, and is very uniform and almost kind of flood-like. So it has a nice, tint to it as well. And into the next room here, you do get good coverage indoors, of course, even on the 200. Now here's the 500. There's 200 and there's 500, so there's your turbo. And this does pretty well outside, and I will show you a couple of pictures taken outside in a couple of minutes here. And of course, if I just click it again, if I just click the mode switch, then it'll go right down to the lowest again, which we looked at a couple of minutes ago. So these are your modes, and it's, as I say, it's very, very simple to operate, just like this. Let's do that little trek outside right now, and I'll show you the pics I took with it out there. Okay, so those are your outdoor shots. Let me just show you the charging aspect of it here quickly. As you might have already guessed from the accessories, they do not supply you with a USB-C cable, but they're reasonably easy to come by. And I have one plugged in over here right now to the just to a regular plug. So let me attach it here. So we'll just put that in. And oops, sorry. One thing I suppose is when you're kind of doing something like this, the buttons are kind of easy to push inadvertently, I suppose. So here you go. I just plugged it into charge. Here the two switches are illuminating in blue, and you can actually use the light while it's charging, and then if you turn it off, it'll show you the display there of the charge, and showing it charging right now at 3.86 volts, and then that'll disappear after a few seconds, and the lights will of course continue to flash until the charge is up, and then you'll get a charged icon in the display. And that's how you operate the light. Very clean, very simple, very small, very easy to deal with. That's the Nitecore TINI2. If you'd like to check out my written review of it, of course, that's at lightsandgear.com. And there's a link within this video if you'd like to pick one up. And an additional link is also a part of my written review as well. But I would recommend the Nitecore TINI2 if you're looking for something obviously small to put on your keychain, and obviously pretty bright to have on your keychain. So that's it for today. Hope you've enjoyed it. If you have questions or comments, let me know below. Hit the subscribe button, of course, and we will see you next time. And thanks for watching. Have a good one.